You scroll past a post that reads, "I became rich, and I'm still not happy." Wait, what? Isn't money supposed to fix everything? The stress, the struggle, the constant not enough? For most people, getting rich is the dream. But what happens when the dream doesn't deliver? We dug through Reddit, Quora, YouTube comments, and real-world polls to answer this. Is being rich actually overrated? Or is this just rich people being ungrateful? Let's find out what the internet really thinks. The expectation is simple. Get rich, be free, be happy, live the good life. That's what movies, influencers, and even childhood goals teach us. But online, a surprising number of people who've made it say the reality is very different. From burnout to boredom, strained relationships to identity crises, some say wealth adds more pressure than peace. They have everything money can buy, and yet they feel empty. Now, let's take a look at what people are saying online, starting with Reddit, specifically from subreddits like Ask Reddit, Off My Chest, and others. One user wrote, "Partially yes. The thing is 100% of everything can be completed without being rich, so being rich is entirely subjective in what it can mean to you. See your retirement being near a beach, soaking up the sun? Surprise, you don't need millions of dollars to do that. The beach is free to use every day. What about people who are really fit and healthy looking? Surprise! Stop eating so damn much, and you'll save tons of money. Now if you want bottle models, an Aventador, and a mansion in Beverly Hills, then maybe it isn't overrated to you because you need it. The biggest hurdle in my life currently is paying on a house. But if I had $10 million right now, I'd be bored as shit every day and I'd have to force myself to blow money, or it just wouldn't be spent. House taxes, insurance, maybe an economy car, and the rest of my life would just require food. Like $6 a day maybe. I could probably fully retire for 50 plus years on $1 million easily in today's economy." Another user added, "This isn't exactly the target answer, but it might be a bit more relatable. I grew up very poor, renting out rooms in crack houses poor. At 18, I joined the military for a chance to escape that life. After completing my service, I was able to attend college for free. Thanks to a combination of luck and hard work, I was earning well into the six figures within a few years of starting my career, and I had almost no debt. While my income doesn't compare to the top 1%, I feel rich. If I want something, I can buy it. If I want to help friends or family, I can. I get to enjoy nice things and take elaborate trips. Starting businesses is easier too. I currently run 2 small side businesses, both managed by family and friends. They don't make a lot of money yet, but they're self-sustaining and provide jobs for people close to me. I think I genuinely appreciate what I have now because I grew up with so little. No matter what anyone says, life is much easier with money." Edit. You guys are incredibly kind. I really appreciate the nice comments. Also, thanks for the gold. I'm not entirely sure what to do with it, but I know it's a kind gesture. Double edit. A lot of people are asking what I studied and what I do for a living. I studied civil engineering and went into construction management. I advanced a bit faster than average, and my salary grew accordingly. I also flip and rent homes on the side, something I started in college. Over the past 2 to 3 years, that's finally started paying off. As for my 2 small businesses, one is a stand-up paddleboard rental company. The other is a landscaping business. Neither of them makes me a lot of money yet, but they're both new, sustaining themselves, and showing promise. I'm hopeful about their future. And to those who've messaged me asking exactly how much I make, I hope you don't mind if I don't share that. It's a bit too personal." Another user added, "I'm not rich, but I work in finance and have gotten to know some relatively wealthy people. At my first job, I developed a particularly close relationship with a man whose net worth was over $20 million. He saw me kind of like the son he never had and often tried to teach me life lessons. It was pretty clear, though, that he wasn't truly happy. Despite having more money than he could ever need, almost all of his personal relationships were negatively affected by that wealth. Right away, I noticed that he and his wife barely spoke. They constantly fought, but stayed together simply because he didn't want to give up half of his assets. Their marriage felt more like a situation between disgruntled roommates than a real partnership. As we grew closer, he opened up more. He told me about his estranged daughter, who had stolen around $40,000 from him. They rarely, if ever, spoke after that. He had a somewhat better relationship with his granddaughter, but even that felt transactional. She was clearly spoiled, using their relationship to go shopping or out for expensive meals. Then, as soon as she got what she wanted, she'd ask to go home. I also got the sense that money had cost him most of his friendships. He often told me, "Don't loan your friends money. And if you do, don't expect to get it back." He shared how, once he retired, many of his so-called friends stopped reaching out entirely. He really took to me because I had no ulterior motive. I knew he had money, we talked about it often, but I didn't want anything from him. And he'd say that if he could trade places with me, he would. He would have chosen meaningful, loving relationships with family and friends over all the money. Now, I wouldn't say this is a common story, but he was by far the wealthiest client I ever worked with. We used to go to lunch and just talk for hours. He really had no one else to talk to, and I didn't mind the break from work. We fell out of touch about a year ago, but he was a unique individual. He always told me that if I ever needed anything, he'd be there in a moment. I think I'll give him a call soon and catch up. Another user added, "My biggest problem is hiding it from my wife. In the past 3 years, I've started a very successful business, which sent us from a modest $120,000 a year to an extravagant $4 million a year in income, and it's growing in revenue 20% a month. When it first started taking off, I talked about it with her a lot. Wow! Business just keeps getting better and better." She started wanting to spend it. Remodeling, trips, wanting a new car, etc. I don't think she's able to budget. She thinks saving it away is a waste. So, business started going downhill in our conversations. As far as she's concerned, we've topped out at $200,000, and it's not growing anymore. Meanwhile, I'm squirreling away the extra in investment accounts. When it reaches $20 million in a couple of years, it'll be enough to live well off the interest. I want to share the feeling of success with her, since I can't share it with anyone else, but I know she can handle it. At some point she's going to find out. Then what? On Quora, one user shared, "This question is extremely difficult to answer offhand. If you're starving and don't have enough money to put food on the table, then of course, being rich is not overrated. But if you're so wealthy that you're stuffing your face with food, watching TV all day, and living a sedentary life marked by excess, then yes, wealth can definitely seem overrated. Most people seem reasonably content with a lifestyle supported by an income of $70,000 to $80,000 or more. That said, there are undoubtedly people working minimum wage jobs who are genuinely happy. Conversely, there are also ultra-wealthy individuals who have become so consumed by money that they've lost their moral compass, lying, cheating, stepping over others, and becoming addicted to accumulating more. We've all heard stories of lottery winners whose lives spiraled after their windfall, though those are rare and extreme examples. Still, they show that money alone doesn't guarantee happiness or stability. If being rich comes at the cost of your passions, health, relationships, and overall well-being, then yes, being rich can be overrated. However, if someone earns a good income and still has time to care for their health and relationships, they're likely in a better place than someone earning too little while trying to maintain the same quality of life. I won't go so far as to say most rich people become corrupt, but I do believe some do to a certain extent. They may bend their morals to stay ahead. On the flip side, the same could be said about some individuals in poverty, who may turn to crime or unethical behavior out of desperation. As with most things in life, the key is balance. Another wrote, "I thought I'd feel fulfilled. Instead, I feel like I'm just consuming more, not living more." In the comments of videos like, The dark side of being rich. Viewers echo these feelings. No one talks about how lonely success can be. Everyone thinks you're bragging if you say you're not happy. A 2022 Gallup poll found that happiness only increases with income up to a certain point, around $75,000 to $100,000 per year. After that, the curve flattens. A study from Purdue University even suggests that too much wealth can reduce emotional well-being, especially in individualistic cultures. In forums and comment sections, you'll find countless people saying the same thing. Money helped with problems, but it didn't give me meaning. Why it's so taboo. Admitting wealth isn't everything is hard. People might say, "Cry me a river. I can't even pay rent." So many rich individuals stay quiet about their emotional struggles. But suppressing those feelings only makes them worse. And online spaces give them the only outlet to say, "This isn't what I expected." Pros, cons, and final verdict. Pros of being rich. Freedom of time and location. Access to better healthcare, experiences, and education. Less financial anxiety. The ability to help others. Cons people mentioned. Loneliness and disconnection. Pressure to maintain wealth. Distrust in relationships. Loss of purpose or drive. So, is being rich overrated? Here's the internet's verdict. Yes, for many, the dream doesn't match the reality. But no one's denying money solves a lot of real problems. It's just not the one-size-fits-all answer to happiness. Now we want to hear from you. If you got rich tomorrow, do you think you'd actually be happier? Or would it create a whole new set of problems? Leave a comment, we're listening. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into public opinion, every single week. Because next time, we're uncovering the truth behind another internet verdict.